Welcome back to Lenz's movie review, episode number 114. Yep, normally after I did X Podcast, I think, okay, would I do the next film, which is the final appearance by Hugh Jackman? Not necessarily, no. I wanted to go to do this first three films he played Wolverine. Let's start with his very first film, the original X-Men film. Yes, this is the 1.5 cut, which has a bunch of new material with not exactly bonus features, more it's mostly just a lot of behind the scenes stuff related to this particular film. Yes, released in the year 2000. Aside from seeing Hugh Jackman as his debut Wolverine, we also see Halle Berry as Storm, the awesome Patrick Stewart as Professor Charles Xavier, Sir Ian McKellen playing the Master of Magnetism, Magneto, Ray Park as Toad, James Masterson as the bland Cyclops. Yeah, he is very bland in this film and in the following two films. Well, mostly in the third film. I'll talk about that. Frankie Jameson playing Jean Grey. I should point out, though, about Frankie Jameson. Frankie Jameson is 10 years older than James Masterson. Yeah, Frankie Jameson, I think she's pushing 60. She looks fantastic for her age. Yeah, I'm like, okay, this is particularly a little weird. The fact that they have an actress, okay, she's currently about 55-ish. Okay. Yeah, she's Dutch. But what about, let's say, frickin' Cyclops, played by James Marsden? He is currently, I think he's about 50. He's 46. Makes him like 9 years younger than the actress who plays Jean Grey. And yet in the comics, these two round the same. He's pretty much the same age. Yeah, I have no idea why the heck they did this for it, but they did. But Ricky James looks great. Yeah. Apparently, from what I heard, Beast was supposed to be in this movie, but his stuff was cut and gave all the stuff to Jean Grey for some reason. I have no idea why. Yep. Iceman makes his first appearance in these films, played by Shawn Ashmore. He appears briefly for one scene, and then he's never seen again. Does he interact with Angel in these films? No, he doesn't, which is kind of weird. Rogue makes the first appearance, but she actually has a big plot point. She's a major character in the movie aside from, well, Wolverine, Magneto, and Professor Xavier. But for this cut, for some reason, they don't include her in the cover. Nope, we just have Wolverine, Storm, and Mystique. Of these three people, Hugh Jackman, I get the fact he's in the middle because he's practically the star of the franchise. Halle Berry, which I kind of agree, she was not a good choice to be Storm, and yet we had to be stuck with her for 4 movies. Not only this film, the following 2 films, and Days Future Past. Yeah, the problem with this particular character is she doesn't do very much. Yeah, in the comics she could summon a freaking hurricane. Here, summon a rainstorm. That's it. Can't do anything else. Oh, let's see. What else? Oh yeah, Sabretooth is a movie. Though, appearance-wise, he kind of does look like Sabretooth in the comics. Personality-wise, he doesn't act much like him at all. He doesn't get much to do. I think that of the 2 actors who have portrayed Sabretooth, I like the version from, despite the fact I don't like X-Men Wolverine much, but that Sabretooth was fantastic. This Sabretooth is okay. I mean, I love his look. It's great. It's somewhat accurate to comics. Yeah, you don't necessarily need to have his costume. Yeah, I'll talk about the costume in a minute. He's played by Tyler Mane. Yes. A guy who's an actor and a wrestler. Yes. But what about Mystique? She's portrayed by the wife of Jerry O'Connell. The current wife is. At the time, she was married to somebody else. She's portrayed by the ever awesome Rebecca Ramajan Satomos, though, basically Rebecca Ramajan. She is a beautiful woman. Like, oh my gosh, she is smoking hot. I heard it took like 8 hours just for her to, like, put on the makeup. It's one of 2 comic-based characters she's played. The other, of course, is playing Joan from The Punisher, the 2004 film. Yep. Yeah. And, okay, we have all these people. Okay, what's the plot of this movie? First, focus on Rogue, But the movie opens up not with Rogue, but with Magneto attending a sort of a congressional meeting. They don't clarify what the heck this is. Where they're voting on the Mutant Registration Act, which is definitely something from the comics. Yes, that is something pulled direct from the comic books. Aside from that, not much else. We see Sarah McKellen. Yeah, he's the first. He's the first comic-based character we see in this movie, which I think is fantastic. Robert Kelly's in this movie, and he's seen the final film of us mistake posing as him. Yep. In case you're wondering, now what happens to Robert Kelly's movie does not happen to him in the comics, though. Nope. Yeah, what they do with him in the comics is completely different. Yeah, of how they take care of him, anyways. So he's later on kidnapped by the Brotherhood, but I'll get to that in a minute. But we have the encounter between Magneto and Professor X. Just have a conversation, and yes, he just tries to stop, but doesn't harm him at all, because well, Magneto has a lot of respect for Xavier. They have differences of philosophy, but Magneto would never try to actually kill him. Screw you, Jeff Loeb, when it comes to Ultimatum. Yeah. So, I never get used to Rogue in this film. Now, in the movie, her real name is not Anna Marie. Yeah, they actually changed her name for the movie. Yeah, this, I don't know why. It's bizarre. Her name is Marie Dante Accentito. Despite the fact her real name is Anna Marie. Yeah, as far as I know, there is, excuse me, no explanation at all. She's played by Anna Paquin. Yeah, the actress who's known for being in the series True Blood. Though she did this before she did True Blood, so there's that. Still looks great for her age. She's only 37, surprisingly. Yep. Yeah. Toad is played by Ray Park. Yeah, it's a character which I at least gotta praise the fact they got a lot of his powers right. But he's one of those many characters in this movie who doesn't do very much. I mean, I could list off the top of my head characters who actually push the plot forward. Professor Xavier, Jean Grey, Wolverine, Rogue. Yeah, she does the plot in this movie. And that's for the heroes. For the villains, it's just Magneto and Mystique. The other two do nothing. They're just cannon fodder for the film. Yep. And, okay, what's Magneto's brilliant plan? Turn the whole world into mutants. So, his solution to this is to kidnap Senator Robert Kelly. Yep. And turn him into a mutant, and he sort of dissolves on a freaking beach. Yes, I've heard that Stanley makes a cameo in this scene. Now, as for Rogue herself, she's first seen making out with a boyfriend. He gets knocked to coma, runs away. That's where she runs into Wolverine at a freaking bar of all places. And I love his introduction, like how he introduces his claws. Yeah, like he has like the two claws come out, hold him like pinned to the wall, and he has the other claw come right out. Now in the movie, I have no idea what they do this for. The claws come between his knuckles like this, come right out like that. In the comics, they come up. They actually, I don't. This is a change I don't have a really big problem with, but at least the fact, yes, they use claws. Now in the comics, they come up from atop his hands. That's where they come out on top of his hands. In the movies, they come between his knuckles. Yeah, it's a minor change, but at least you can say Hugh Jackman actually acts like Wolverine. He drinks. He smokes cigars. By the way, does he have sex with any women in any of these movies? Well, in this film or the following two films? The answer is no, he doesn't. And Wolverine is known for sleeping around. He has a reputation of doing that in the comics. Yeah. I mean, the first woman he does in bed in the movies is not until the Wolverine. What does he have, blue balls? Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's pining for Jean Grey. He pines for her for this movie and the following two films, despite the fact she's with Scott Summers, which is definitely true in the comic books. Yeah, and he's sort of taken to the Xavier Institute, which is in Westchester, New York. Which, according to my dad, who was from New York, there is no town called Westchester in New York. There's a county. Yeah, a county. Well, they say, now in the film he says Westchester, New York. Online here it says Westchester County. Now here's kind of the thing. In the comics, the Xavier Institute originally was based in Salem Center, which is a fictional town in upstate New York. Which is a nod they made that in the Age of Ultron movie. hmm Yep. So yeah, Magneto has a confrontation with Wolverine on a train, holds him back. Yeah, fights him on a train. They they have basic control police officers' guns, which I thought that was cool. Sabretooth. Apparently, Wolverine has never met this guy before at all. That's the way the film was written. He has never encountered him before, despite the fact in X-Men Origins he's known him for years. Yeah, they don't explain Wolverine's backstory until the very next film. Yeah. Apparently, Cyclops knows about him, despite the fact that when he was first introduced to the X-Men, Cyclops didn't meet him before Wolverine did. No, that was something they made it for the movie. Toad, well, I gotta say for the brother, they have very tiny leadership. No, the amount of mutants they have for this movie is like five. It's like roughly about about 4 people. Yes, the Brotherhood consists of 4 people: Magneto, Mystique, Sabretooth, and Toad. Now, of these 4 people, Toad and Magneto have interacted with each other many times over the years. That part of the movie is true. Magneto and the Brotherhood at the same time Sabretooth or Mystique were. That is made up from the movie. Prior to this film, Mystique has been with the Brotherhood. She's led the Brotherhood in the 80s, but Magneto was not on the team. Her interactions with the character have been minor at best. And no, these two have never been in the comics. Yeah. In case one has mistaken Sabretooth been an item in the comics. Yes, that actually has happened. These two actually have had a son together. Yep, they have sex multiple times in the comics. Though off panel, mind you. Yep. By the way, Mystique's interaction with the rest of the Brotherhood is like non-existent. She doesn't interact aside from Magneto himself. She doesn't have conversation either with Sabretooth or Toad. Like they're just there as basically just henchmen. I mean, Sabretooth, a henchman for Magneto, which is something that never happened in the comics at all. Toad, I get. Sabretooth? No. My only guess is the reason why they include him in this movie is that his connection to Wolverine. Now, here's something that I call bullcrap on. The way this film depicts the founding members of the X-Men are Jean Grey, Cyclops, and Storm. Which, if you read the comics, this is partially true. Jean Grey and Cyclops were founding members of the X-Men, not Storm. Storm has never been a founding member of the X-Men. She's been a long time veteran member of the X-Men, but not founding member. As a matter of fact, aside from Iceman does play in the movie, but here's the kind of thing: he has no interaction with Cyclops in this movie, not until the very next film. Yep. And so we have them confronting the big battle between the X-Men and the Brotherhood, which by the way only happens in this film and Last Stand, though you wouldn't call it the Brotherhood. It's just basically a big gathering of mutants led by Magneto. Yeah. So the X-Men who go rescue Rogue because we kidnapped Magneto. Which X-Men did they send to go rescue? Okay, they sent Xavier. Okay, Cyclops, Jean Grey, Storm, Wolverine. And I'm thinking, okay, is there any X-Men they can send besides, aside from Xavier, who's not really like a field member, he just leads the X-Men. Aside from Cyclops, Jean Grey, Wolverine, and Storm, the only person here is Wolverine. I'm like, okay, I know in the comics there's a lot more members in this. Yeah, Colossus himself doesn't really appear in this movie at all. Kitty Pryde made a cameo, but she was later replaced by Aaron Page in the next movie. Yeah, as for the explanation for this, no idea. Yeah. But I love the school aspect for the Xavier Institute. Yeah, they have the big... Now, as for the big battle itself, it's okay. I mean, Sabretooth is basically wasted by Magneto. By Cyclops really easily. I mean, come on. Cyclops beating Sabretooth and implying he died? I'm like, Okay. Sabretooth has got a healing factor. How the heck could he die from a fall from the Statue of Liberty? Yeah, they're fighting at the Statue of Liberty of all places. Yes. By the way, who stops Magneto from activating his little device? Wolverine does. Yep. By the way, what does Storm contribute to this fight? Well, she kills Toad. Yes, kills Toad with a lightning bolt. What happens when Mystique? She gets stabbed by Wolverine. She comes back next movie with no explanation of how the heck she survived a stab wound to her side. I mean, the way it looked like she could have easily died, but could be just her shapeshifting powers could have changed it. They didn't really explain how the heck she came back. Yeah, if you want to think of one character who didn't fight any members of the Brotherhood, it's Jean Grey. Yeah, she did practically nothing this fight, aside from manipulating Cyclops' visor to take out Sabretooth. Yeah, that's really it. I mean, excuse me. Despite how great this movie is, it has a weak final battle. Yeah, if you look at it, it's kind of weak. I mean, Wolverine takes out 3 members. No problem. He takes out Mystique. He takes out Magneto. Takes out 2. Cyclops takes out Sabretooth, and Storm takes out Toad. Rogue is got a white streak in her hair, which beginning of the film she doesn't like. Why does she have it? Oh yeah, there's something to give an explanation. Okay, it's probably a machine that Magneto did her. Okay, here's the thing about a white streak. She's had that since her debut. I don't really know. I never get a chance to ask Michael Gold about this because he did create the character. As far as I can tell, he does like the portrayal of Rogue in this movie. Well, basically, the actress who portrays in all movies. Because, well, he created the character. I figured I asked him because, well, he did create the character, Chris Claremont. He has seen these movies, and he does really enjoy Anne Parker's portrayal of Rogue. I think she does a really good job in the movie. And, of course, Wolverine, after the final battle, Wolverine just takes Cyclops' motorcycle and just drives off. Of course, Rogue has a sample of Wolverine's powers, a healing factor. Oh yeah, at one point in the movie, how she gets this? Yeah, Wolverine's having a nightmare and Rogue just happens to wander in his room, so he accidentally stabs her. So, in order to get to heal, he has her sort of copy his healing factor, which he still retains for the remainder of 2 films. For a start for the first 2 X-Men films, it's good, but yeah. It's kind of a rough start. I mean, they made some mistakes here and there, but they made it for like big time with the sequel, which came out 3 years later. I give this film roughly a 9 out of 10. It's a good start for the X-Men films, but it's not the best of the original 3 films. I'll talk about the best one in the next video. Yeah, and here's kind of the thing with these films that I have to talk about before I end this video. Fox and Bryan Singer's basically hesitation to put the X-Men in their comic book costumes. They put them in black leather, which, if you look at it, it's kind of a small little nod here and there to the comics. I mean, Cyclops is fine in the black leather, but Jean Grey? Really? Like, you couldn't use any of her outfits in the comics? I mean, we had to wait until Apocalypse for this to happen. Yes, X-Men Apocalypse, which came out 16 years after this film did. Yep. Oh, and there's the beginning portion I forgot to mention, where it begins where the same place that First Class began, Magneto concentration camp. Yeah, because of this film, it confirms not only the fact Magneto is Jewish, but the fact he is a Holocaust survivor. Yeah, this film made that canon, as far as I can tell. Yeah. So it makes Magneto really, really old. Yeah, they also made a joke in this movie, like, they implied that Wolverine might be really, like, older than Xavier. They never state Wolverine's age in the movie at all. If you wonder how Wolverine is in the comics, he's close to, like, over 150. Yeah. Excuse me, that's how old he is. Sabretooth was rumored to be at one point 200 years old. Yeah, not much has been delved into about Sabretooth's backstory over the years. Yeah. But not much else to say about this film. It's good. It's a good start, but not the best film of the first 3 films. Next video. Okay? So yeah, that's it for this particular review. I think I might have time to do Black Clover tonight. I'm not really sure. If I don't, well, I'll do it tomorrow because I have tomorrow time because I have a day off tomorrow. Okay, but see you next video. Bye.